What's up, everybody? This is Presto,
CorporalNosaj.
and you are listening to episode
100
of the Nintendads podcast. Holy mackerel, Corporal. Here we are.
Mackerel.
This is also, if
That's
you've been
something
following
you
us
eat.
long enough, take a shot. This is our today, October 25th. This is our 5-year anniversary, which
2024.
also it just happens to be.
I need to sleep, but I got on just to say happy anniversary. Thank you, TS Villa.
Yo, shout out TS Villa. Yeah, episode 100 on the 5th anniversary. It's like we planned it. It's like we've been doing an episode every week for the last month to make sure.
Can I be honest with you?
A total coincidence.
I'm kind of
maybe
my OCD is kind of mad at the fact that it is 2024 and this is our 5-year anniversary. I think we need to skip. Go to next year, 2025,
yeah,
and then we can do it.
It would make it easier to remember.
It would.
But yeah, we can say we started. Our podcast is older than COVID. I mean, I'll take that accolade. No matter
I mean,
how
during
obscure.
COVID, I forgot how old I was, so we can just say that it's really.
Anyway, welcome in. Yo, Marianne. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a crazy 5 years. A lot has happened. We've
So
done
much.
a lot. We've played a lot. We've had 100 damn episodes. It's crazy. We got some notes. But before we get into all that, Corporal, the age-old question: what are you sipping on, my friend?
I have a variety of options this evening to sip on because I didn't know what my little heart would desire, so I am desiring a whole lot.
Is it your heart or is it your liver?
I don't have much of a liver left after the last time.
Fate Maker, thank you, sir.
So
Glad to have you here.
Am currently smashing Southern Tier Brewing Company Caramel Pumpkin King.
Nice, solid Southern Tier, top tier.
But on the backup side, in case I chug that down, I also have an Apple Ginger Mule from the Angry Orchard Company, which is
very nice.
And because I am a Boston Lager fan, standard Boston Lager.
I heard an alert, and I don't know where it came from. It came from somewhere. Thank you, whoever you are. I think it was Jeremy sharing this. Welcome.
Nice. Thank you.
If you're listening to this after the fact on Spotify, we did live stream this. We're live streaming it right now, but not to you. You're in the future. Hello, future.
Come back to the past and relive our past with us.
I am drinking hydration because I am sick. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do this tonight. My throat was sandpaper for the better part of 24 hours. But I saved up my HP points, drank some potions, and here I am, alive and well. So you're gonna have to carry the train
and
tonight,
relive,
my corporal. What have you been playing?
A lot of things. I've been playing I was just going to say Windjammers. Windblown. I've been playing Titanfall 2. I've been playing Below the Stone. I've been playing Stardew Valley. Obviously I've been playing Warhammer, and I recently started playing Layers of Fear again, which is my spooky time game. And then obviously, without a doubt, on the Nintendo Switch, playing Legend of Zelda Wisdom of Echoes, or Echoes of Wisdom, or whatever she's calling it these days.
Echoes of A Link to the Past.
Yeah. Echoes 2, I should have had my own full featured game, but didn't.
She did though. She got it.
Failures.
Um, I have been playing some Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. But over the last 24 hours, I've pretty much exclusively been playing Windblown. I am hooked. I am properly hooked. Windblown is amazing. It's a new roguelike from Motion Twin, which is the devs of Dead Cells, and it's amazing. Excuse me. We're gonna play some after the episode. After the episode is over, we're recording this for podcasting purposes, and then we are going to continue the stream and play with viewers. We're gonna play some Windblown. Maybe we'll play some Mario Kart. Um, maybe some Mario Party Jamboree. No, I didn't get that. I've never been a huge fan of Mario Party games. Um, I the only hope was I rented the most recent Mario Party, not Jamboree. I think it was Super Mario Party or Mario Party Superstars. I rented it from the library and I played it with my son and we made it like 20 minutes in and we both looked at each other and we're like, "No, we're not going to I don't want to keep playing this."
Mario Party 8 is a good game.
Mario Party 8?
Yeah.
What? No,
Oh,
I don't even
not 8. I'm sorry.
Mario Kart 8.
No, what's the most recent Mario Party?
Mario Party Superstars.
It's not
Super
Superstars.
Mario Party.
That's
Mario
it.
Party, we stopped the numbering convention and now it's just confusing for everyone.
It's the one that was just before Jamboree. Whichever that one was, that's the one that we still play in this house.
Yeah, that one's good. It's got all the Nintendo 64
Yeah.
uh games.
Which is why
Uh
it's good, because 64 is when things were the best.
yes, except for GoldenEye. We talked about that recently,
Didn't
2
age
episodes
well,
ago.
but it was great when it came out.
That's true. Almost as good as Perfect Dark. But that's it. That's a topic for another episode. Um So where I'm gonna let you guide us through these notes because these are your notes.
To
You've
this,
reclaimed your helm as the note master. I contributed to the notes, and we'll go through this in a little bit. But I tried to make a list of every game that we have streamed on this channel over the last 5 years, and it is ridiculous. It is way more games than I thought it was going to be. And I know that there's ones that I'm missing because before we streamed on Twitch, we just streamed on Facebook and Facebook deletes their VODs after a certain amount of time. So half of these I had to do from memory or from like show notes. Uh and it's an entire page of our show notes and then some is just the games that we've played. So yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, Corporal, go ahead. You're the marshal of this parade.
thank you, Fate Maker. Happy anniversary to the Nintendads, he says over on Twitch. Hello. So I have orchestrated these notes in a very specific fashion. So you're going to roll through this roller coaster with me.
I'm rolling. This is more of a victory lap for us than it is an
Yes.
episode. This isn't necessarily a deep retrospective, historical, analytical, grammatical look at the last 5 years. It's more just being like, what was your favorite time that Presto said a bad word on stream?
There were a lot of them. There were a lot
They
of them.
mostly came out when we used to stream Super Smash Brothers, but
Or when we had our rant about the Nintendo. Kane the Destroyer, welcome in. Happy anniversary, guys.
hey, what's up, Kane?
So, back in the day, when we first started, our episodes were three dads, one podcast.
Oh yeah.
We started with our dearest of friends, Nick Yeti. Um, and while Nick Yeti's personal life and schedule and moving across the country and having a little mini me and getting married and all that other stuff kind of pulled him away, and we obviously love and still talk to Yeti all the time. Our triplets trio came down to two. I feel like there's a Disney song that's about that. Um, and when we did that, we went from having 2 hour streams, 2 hour podcast episodes, down to having 1 hour podcast episodes. So, my first question of this retrospective victory lap is, do you miss the 2 hour runs and the things that we got to discuss? Over the years, we have shifted to a 1 hour segment and we've gotten to more direct content. Do you have a preference one way or other? The landscape of podcasts have changed as far as what content creators make and what is being consumed by you, the viewers. Do the viewers have an opinion? So it's an open form question is my first question.
Well, I do believe that not our last, not the episode before this one, but episode 98 of the Nintendads podcast was an hour and 48 minutes long.
Yep.
So it's not a memory so far gone. Um, but I do like the 1 hour format better in most cases. When we do our job of picking a topic or expertly um choosing our news stories that we cover, and we have an hour worth of discussion and we have that discussion, it feels good. There were a lot of the 2 hour episodes where it was like three or four segments that sometimes we'd be at like an hour and 20 minutes or an hour and a half, and we would have to rush through to fit it in under the 2 hour mark. um, so I do like the hour episodes. I don't like the hour restriction when we have too much packed in and we still have to rush. Sort of like we did with the our game favorite games across genres.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, I like the 1 hour format better. But what about you, our dear viewer? Who gives a crap what I think? What do you guys think? Do you guys like the longer 2 hour episodes or the shorter 1 hour episodes? If you're
So
listening to this after the fact, leave a comment somewhere. Somewhere.
what is the medical term when you're like in love with yourself or you're focused on yourself? Everything is about
Narcissist.
okay. So maybe I'm a little narcissist because I will sometimes turn on our podcasts and listen to ourselves and critique ourselves in a review listen when I'm like cleaning the house or mowing the lawn or taking a long drive and I know that I've got an hour and a half drive, I will crunch out a Nintendads episode on
Mhm.
Spotify. Now, this is partly because I'm trying to boast our own views because, I mean, yet again, narcissist. But at the same time, I'm also trying to learn how we can improve what we said, what we didn't say, what landed well, what sounded funny, maybe things I can pull back out and I kind of revisit, or it'll jog my memory about an episode idea that we can write down and turn into a future episode later. So, um, I
I would listen to an old episode, but if it's anything we've done in like the past year,
oh,
I don't know. I don't know that I would.
I am so much the type of person who will listen to this episode tomorrow.
Oh my god, you're sick. Well, I also don't forget before we live streamed the episodes, we used to record them and we didn't always get them on the first take, unlike the professionals that we are now.
Yeah.
Um even though the last episode we had to stop and restart to fix the sound levels. Um but yeah, I used to edit all the episodes, so we would record them, and then usually within like 24 hours I would have to listen to the entire thing, often multiple times, because I was editing, and we'd have to do all that. um
Yeah.
Maybe bad. There's some cool tools out there now that will automatically take out gaps, automatically take out filler words that we might use at some point, but I feel like too heavy editing takes away from the conversational vibes that we have developed here over the last 5 years.
So I enjoy the 1 hour. It's like a Pavlov reaction now. I can't not
Where are
do
the
it.
Twitch alerts? Because I resubscribed and nothing happened.
Well, that's because you're not a true follower.
No alert went off. I am. I follow myself everywhere.
So what I will say is that I enjoy the 2 hour stints because I feel like we go off on enough tangents. But as a consumer of our own podcast, I think that the 1 hour is the right answer. And as content creators in a space where long form content still has a place, I don't know if we have the community that likes the 2 hour stint. I think we do better as a 1 hour podcast. But you brought up something that jogged my memory that gives me an idea. Two things. Have you seen how AI can take like your professor's notes and turn them into a podcast?
No. I've heard it the other way around where if you have a recording, like you basically hit record during a lecture or like a meeting, and then AI will transcribe everything that was said during that meeting and then break it down into like notes.
So somebody has reversed that and has taken
Ooh.
those notes and then will create a podcast off of it with two individuals, two different voices, usually a female and a male, and they will banter
Oh,
about the show
I
notes.
have. I have heard this because there was that viral clip that was the two hosts being like, "So we don't know how to tell our viewers this, but we're AI. We're
Yeah,
not real at all. I didn't even know this until the producers just told us. That's
they
crazy. We're not even real."
they became self-aware in that moment and it was an existential crisis thing. We're like, I could have sworn I spoke to my wife. I called her just before this, but apparently I
That's
didn't.
dark. That's
Yeah.
dystopian. I don't know. There's a point where it goes from like kind of fun and quirky to like an episode of Black Mirror.
So here's where this is where my thought process came from.
Oh, we have to.
We have to,
We have to do it.
right? Because
Yes.
our show notes are unhinged.
Oh my
And
god. Oh
I
my god.
would,
Wait. We have to do an episode about using AI in game development, but the entire episode has to be AI generated. We're going to make some notes
yes.
and then we're going to have AI generate the script and we're going to have AI read the script. I don't know if we can do like video generation, but it'll just be like a loop of us like pretending to talk. Oh, that's going to be fun and we might get banned from a couple. But can I say over the last 5 years, my biggest surprise is not that we've come to have a loving, amazing community. It's not that we have become partners with crazy titans of the video game industry like Capcom and Power A and EA. It's not that we've actually made it 5 years and 100 episodes. It's that throughout all this time, we have not gotten banned once,
Yeah.
which is mind blowing because we have violated so many rules. Not really, I'm just kidding. But no, we really have. It's especially like year 2,
Oh my gosh.
the era of our Lord King George. Holy mackerel. I don't understand. I it doesn't make it.
Those of you who've been around and been listening to us long enough, let's take a shot. There's a viewer of ours who was in our Facebook chat for a long time, and his name was dubbed King George. He was an employee that I used to work with, and he used his credit card to ensure that we continued to take shots back when shots were paid for. He's the reason we both
We
have
had
liver
some
damage.
we had some morally gray uh donation
Yeah,
redeems. Now
yeah.
they're just funny sound effects, but before that they were like real life sound effects, mostly the noise of Corporal going ugh.
500 pennies got you a sip. I think 1,000 pennies got you.
Actually, hold on a second. Is there a I mean, I have a skull because it's Halloween. But do you have a skull? anywhere near you
Why?
besides in your head?
Why? Why do
I'm
you?
just curious. I'm just curious.
Ah,
Just asking because look at that. That skull. My second surprise is that that skull still has anything in it
I mean,
after 5 years. You haven't refilled it, right?
no,
That's the same thing?
same thing.
Jeez Louise.
Oh, actually, no, no. This is my second skull. This is my
Oh.
second skull. And the reason why it's my second skull was because the first skull got thrown out, and I was mad because I wanted to keep the skull.
What?
So I, well, it was drank. It was finished, and
It's
then
still a glass skull.
yeah,
That's like half the point of buying the skull. Not
yeah.
for the nasty, like,
So
motor oil that's in there.
now I need a second skull so I can have two skulls. But
You gotta empty
this,
that one first, that's the problem.
yeah.
Somebody donate, please. It's the only way. It's the only way he'll do it.
So through these 5 years, we have came up with our own show notes, and most of our show notes are pretty unhinged. Fail. Most of our show notes are unhinged, but we've also came up with our episode titles, our names for our episode, and I think some of our episode titles are very entertaining. Do you have any specific episode title or show note from our 5 years that stands out to you as the most entertaining show note or episode title?
The most entertaining episode title. Let's see here. A
There is
lot of them
one episode title that I found going through our history that I still don't know what we spoke about in the episode.
really.
It's called Pigeon Fried Egg.
Pigeon fried egg.
That's what we named the episode.
I think that's what you named the episode because there is no
It's a good possibility that
episode.
that's what we named the episode in the show notes, and that's not what you posted on
That's
Spotify.
definitely a title that you named the show notes when you were doing the show notes. The best, worst, and weirdest Nintendo controllers through time. That one is fun.
Yep.
Um, our casuals ruining gaming. That was definitely a
Oh,
clickbait,
yes.
100%. Um, let's see, family game night. That was a fun one too.
Family Game Night was a good one.
Ooh, sweet and sour.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. We haven't.
I really liked the Lock Down These Achievements episode.
Oh yeah.
It was a part one and a part two episode. We had two: Lockdown Part One, Lockdown Part Two. Do you remember those?
Yes. Oh yes. And I remember taking the photos to promote them. That was fun. Uh, hot. Actually, I think one of my favorites might be Hot Indie Summer.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. It sounds like an indie punk rock
Hot
song.
Indie Summer.
Hot
Yeah.
Indie Summer. All the games were just 199.
uh, I wanted to pull the stats for our most listened to episode or our most liked episode, but because we stream across Apple Music, Spotify, like Last FM, Twitch, Facebook, like because we are across so many platforms, almost impossible for us to get a true analytical number about this. Not to mention, because we are 5 years old now, most of our analytics have been purchased by newer, bigger companies, and the original analytics have been lost with time.
Yeah, we started the podcast on a platform called Anchor FM,
Yep.
um, which started as a like audio version of Twitter. Like instead of text post, you would post like 10 to 30-second audio snippets
Yep.
and then you could reply. And then they like rebooted it to an audio podcasting platform. and they found success as that. And we were on Anchor for a while, or we started on Anchor, and then Spotify bought Anchor, and now it's just Spotify podcast. Uh-oh. You better check the Twitch chat, my friend.
I see it. That
It's 5 years. It's not too late to get banned.
I
Thank you
guess.
for the subscription, Tri Kingdom.
Oh, over
You're the
here,
best.
hidden in. Ah. Oh, there's.
Anybody who's listening to this after the fact, we really, really, really highly encourage you to watch our episodes live. Because some of this, actually, well, if you're listening, some of this might get edited out. This might be one episode that I go back to editing, um, because I don't want to get banned from every platform. Um, but yeah, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and a video is worth at least 80 proof. Oh, that was a quality sound right there.
the,
That
the
should that we need to isolate that little cork pop, and that needs to be the sound when somebody subscribes for the alert. The um
Okay.
what was
Wait,
your
wait. We used to have a rule. We used to have a rule
we had
that
we had rules
we
at some point?
both had to do it. But I understand you're
I'm
sick.
sick. I have a
I
cough drop in my
I
mouth.
understand you're sick, but we also had a rule where we had to say a toast.
Oh boy. I
You
don't
remember
remember this
these?
rule, but I will abide by it.
Do you remember these toasts?
Nope.
We had some pretty wild toasts.
I
Um,
believe that.
and I have an old Google Docs that is saved of just some of the best
No way.
toasts. Uh,
What? If you have a favorite toast to cheers to, drop it in the chat. Johnny M, aka Johnny Silverhand on our Discord, he is the man of a million toasts because every time I drink with him, I hear like the same 3 or 4 toasts, but I also hear at least one new one. What was the only one I know that you used to say all the time was, "Here's to the best years of my life spent in the arms of another man's wife, my mother."
that's right. That's right. It was a toast that I used to give to my grandmother. My dad used to give to my grandmother. Um,
Shout out Grandma Louie, shout out Big Burn Bo, and shout out Mama Carol.
the and the cookies.
Oh my god. Yes, the cookie.
Uh okay.
All right.
I feel like this is apropos for the moment. Time is never wasted when you're wasted all the time.
Tastes like real skull juice, doesn't
Tastes like I just burned the sickness out of my throat.
it? So what was your favorite episode to make and talk about, Corporal?
I have been responsible for a lot of show notes and episodes that I create, like ideas that I came out of my, my skull. Um, and there are some that I am very proud of, and I see you've got one of them written down here.
Yes.
I'll let you have that one so that you can talk about. But
Okay.
I think I think let's see.
Oh, your our
Um
favorite drinking and party games on the Switch. I know that's what you're about to say.
no, that is not what I was about to say. My second favorite episode that I think I helped create and put together was our unplugged episode.
Yes.
Our
Yes. We need to do another one of those because our tastes have
Charles,
gotten
thank you
so
for
much
liking the
better.
stream. Yes, it has. So, for those of you who don't know, our unplugged episode, we took our laptops, went out to our patios, lit some candles, and brought out all of our board games and card games. And we streamed an episode where we talked about the best, we're going to call it analog or in person games, not things that are digital. And that was an excellent episode, especially
I do really like
considering,
that episode.
especially considering that some of us had to dangle their router out the window and have to run upstairs, hit start, run downstairs, and be like, "Hey guys,
Yay, welcome in, Jessica.
welcome in,
Yay, 5
Jessica."
years. Um,
Yeah, the unplugged episode was probably my second favorite episode that I have helped create.
I did like the unplugged episode.
What
Um,
was your favorite episode?
Probably my favorite episode is the story, graphics, and gameplay, where we debated which one is the most important, which one do we value the most. Um, that one I just remember. I like any episode where we have directly opposing views because it's fun to argue. Um, but that one, I feel like we got very we got very philosophical towards the end,
We
where
did.
we were like, graphics sell the game, uh gameplay matters when you're playing the game, but story is the thing that makes you remember a game the most. So
Yep.
it was like graphics, gameplay, story, past, present, future. Like there were some really cool dots that we connected there.
And if I remember correctly, I at the end had to concede to you at the fact that while I think graphics sell the game, and I think gameplay is what makes the game great, and I think story is what makes the emotional impact lasting for you. It's the mechanics and the gameplay of the mechanics that make the game probably continue to live on beyond the story, and for why games could have 5 or 6 year runs because the mechanics were.
See, that's why it stood out as my favorite episode because you had to admit I was right. That's I knew there was another reason. No, there was I'm trying to think. There was another episode where we it was kind of like a debate
There was a
where we had
$70 game episode where we debated some things.
yes, yes, that was another one that I really liked.
Yep.
That one was fun too.
$70 game episode where we debated whether or not the industry was right at this moment to start charging $70 and whether or not us as consumers of those $70 was actually getting our money's worth.
I think my favorite episode to record though was episode 6, 3 dads, 1 mic.
Oh,
Because I'm sorry if I'm jumping ahead because I think you put something about this in the show
I
notes.
did, but that's all right.
But that was an episode where me, you, and Nick Yeti recorded at Nick Yeti's house in person. And it was very funny. I'm pretty sure there's still some funny standalone clips. But the one that stands out is we were talking about how Switch cartridges are covered in a bittering agent to keep children from putting the game cartridges in their mouth and choking. And so we all on the episode put game cartridges in our mouths and see who could keep them in their mouths. And of course, Nick Yeti won.
Yeah.
I'm convinced he only did that longer because it was Super Smash Brothers and he wanted to intentionally break it so that I would stop asking him to play that game with me.
So
But that was maybe my favorite one to actually like do the process of recording.
yeah, Nintendo purposely coats their games, their little cartridges, in What I can only describe is the same product that your parents would paint on your thumb if you were a little kid and still a thumb sucker. It tastes the
Oh, yeah,
same
or that
way.
people use for their nails if you bite
Yeah.
your nails.
Yeah, same type of thing. Yep. So, that was that, and that was actually our first episode that we ever did face recordings of. Because
Really?
prior to that, every episode was audio only. And
Uh,
shortly after that, we started doing some face recordings.
yeah, you're right.
It was the
You are
first in-person recording that we did. The three of us all came together in the same state for the first time in a long while. We got our wives and girlfriends together for the first time. It was a great night. It was a great weekend. But yeah, three dads, one mic. That was episode
I
6.
also this wasn't an episode, but one of my favorite streams was I think it was the 2-year anniversary stream where King George was in full effect. Um and he made a generous donation, and us and our wives all did shots on stream multiple times.
Yes.
Right
Yes.
before playing, I think we played Among Us, and I murdered you on stream, and then we clipped it, and it was fun.
Dean, the dancing machine, man. How's it
Dad, I'm
going?
watching. Can you please tell me anything? This is the story of Dean and the Pirate Queen. There we go.
Little
Um,
dancing machine, man. How's it going, buddy?
so wait a second. What time is it? You should be in bed. What are you doing watching me? You should be in bed. Go to sleep.
Oh, that's
No,
funny.
everybody gets to stay up a little later on Friday nights
And
when
on
it's
birthday
episode
nights. This is a
100.
birthday night for us, so
Yeah.
the 5-year anniversary.
We're 5. Woo! We're going to kindergarten.
So, you brought up uh we are watching old school Mario. Oh boy.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Approved. That's Nintendad approved for sure.
You brought up um oh, you just said it.
When we did the 2-year anniversary?
Yes. Yes. The wives taking shots.
Yes.
So, I that to me stands out because that was one of the episodes that I recorded at my name's Jeff's house because COVID was, and our little
Oh,
family
you're
all moved in
right.
together so that we
You're
could stay
right.
together for COVID.
It's you save money buying alcohol in bulk.
I mean, yeah,
It doesn't have to be a pandemic for that to apply.
especially when there are
Why
three
are we
parents.
reliving that? Because that's what this whole episode is reminiscing.
Yeah, I think wives should take some more shots. Um, but COVID brought out a very interesting aspect of our podcast and of us being able to reach viewers. Podcasts were starting to become so much more popular because of COVID, and it forced a lot of people to turn to online forms of entertainment because so many things were closed. And that's where a good portion of our viewership originally started from. So thank you for those who have lasted time.
That was the golden age of Facebook Live too. That was
Yeah.
when Facebook was pushing its live content as the most distributed form of content. Um Unlike now where they just push memes,
Yeah.
reels. I don't know.
It's better than what TikTok pushes.
What does TikTok push?
I mean, I don't know about everybody.
Clips of me and Nick Yeti destroying bosses in Windblown? I don't
Your
think
For
that's too
You
bad.
page is a lot cleaner than mine.
We'll compare notes after the show. I don't know.
But
I just send you McDonald's training videos
that you do. You do.
and chess videos.
Yep.
Anyway, now we're getting off topic. Speaking
So,
of topics,
yep, go ahead.
are there any topics that you think we should revisit? And we've already talked about one of them, which is the unplugged games,
Yes.
because we were just we were just little baby board game players then. That was before D&D. That was before um that was before Dice Throne was even invented. That was
Yeah.
before what's the mansion game that you guys
Oh,
love?
Mansions of Madness.
Yeah, that was before Mansions of Madness. Um so yeah, that's my answer to that is we should definitely revisit the board game one. What other topics do you think deserve another pass?
So, there you mentioned casual gamers ruining gaming.
Uh-oh.
I
Uh-oh.
what?
Corporal froze. You froze for a second. Okay, now you're unfrozen.
Oh, why did I freeze? I don't want to freeze.
Florida internet.
Anyway,
Um,
yeah, there we go. Okay. Uh yeah, you mentioned casual gamers ruining gaming, and while I think
did I say
that
that?
you said that was an episode that we covered. Let me correct
Okay.
it. Let me correct myself. What I would like to see is that we expand on that, make it into a sequel, and do a deeper dive into mobile gaming impeding into the game.
I think I like that idea, but I would, instead of going down the route of mobile gaming, I would say have casual gamers tendency and tolerance towards microtransactions ruined or done significant damage to gaming.
Okay.
And I'm not being too subtle about what my opinion on that would be.
The fact
But
that you want this to be your topic is enough.
I mean, because I have a pretty, I mean, I will just say that in Black Ops 6, which
Ah,
is the new Call of Duty game, there is a $20 sound pack that enhances the sounds of things like footsteps and directional being able to figure out where somebody is. And many who play the game would argue that this $20 sound pack gives you a tangible advantage in
yeah,
that you can hear people better and you have an actual gameplay. It's a pay to win sound pack basically for $20.
that's absurd.
And if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about what my opinion on microtransactions and the current state of it is, I don't know what we don't need to do an episode.
I would also not in
And
our
welcome in.
5 year time span. Maybe maybe in another 5 years, maybe within a year or 2 or 3 years, I would like to us revisit the $70 game conversation,
Oh gosh.
because I
Yeah,
want to see if the industry self corrects from atrocities that they out of COVID.
right. It's like, oh no, games went back down to $40, but they all have microtransactions, even the single player games.
Yeah,
That would be worse than $70 games to me.
yeah, it would. Do you remember what the topic was of the sweet and sour episode?
It was Pokemon. I wouldn't remember that off the top of my head, but when I was going through the list of episodes, I do remember that it was Pokemon.
Okay. Yeah, it was. The new open world game confirmed. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet announced.
It was Violet.
The
Okay.
starters. I talked about Smash Evo. The Switch, or the Capcom Fighting Collection was announced. Elden Ring, 10 out of 10. Neon White demo and the Steam Deck. I
Oh yeah.
I pull
Seems
out the
still long
sweet and
ago.
sour episode because it is episode 54. It was probably the most entertaining episode that we did, as near or close to our halfway mark. Our halfway mark, our episode 50, was the Nintendads New Year episode. Basically, just us recapping.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wait, I forgot about this one. Another episode that was fun to record. And
Okay.
by fun, I mean we basically had to get PhDs in audio visual production.
Oh,
But episode 49, right under that,
yes.
the Nintendads live in VR in the
The
metaverse.
metaverse
We did the
episode
entire episode
in VR.
with in VR, but we also had our face cams of
Yep.
our dumbasses in the headsets looking at the cameras, but then also talking to each other in VR.
We had, yeah, I would be sitting here with my headset on. You would see me sitting here with my headset on, but then there was a third window of us digitally in the world doing an episode. It was very cool.
That episode was crazy.
It
You
was.
go back and watch that one either on YouTube or on Facebook because I think that was before Spotify supported video episodes.
Yeah.
But that one is worth watching because it's just funny. And the audio quality, I'm pretty sure, was terrible
Oh,
because we
I'm
had to
sure.
use we had to use the Meta like business meeting room app to stream the audio.
It was.
Oh my goodness. Um, what else? What's next, Corporal?
So,
This is fun. I miss you doing the show notes because I like being surprised.
being surprised about what you're going to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So I put screenshots in here of the first 10 episodes that we created for season 2 and season 3. So episodes 20 forward and episode 70 forward. Um, you've got and just a couple things that kind of pop out at me. Wild Hearts review, the Fun Facts episode, which was a
Oh,
great episode.
yes. That was another really good one. I forgot about the fun facts episode.
Yes. Um, you have the Drinky Party Games episode.
That was a good one.
That was also good. We talked about like Jackbox and things like and then the ketchup episode where we had a lot of things that we had to catch up on.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um looking through this list and the couple things that we went over, uh that is also where some of our content became more uh centrally focused on individual topics and not multiple, right? We would hit the news and then we would hit like
That's
more
true.
central topics.
Yeah. Well, because with the 2 hour format, we used to have news or news as its own segment.
Yep.
And then we would usually have two topics that we would discuss. Um, which was fun because you had variety of conversation, but 2 hours is a long time to
I mean,
listen to
also would
us.
you have when there was the three of us, right? When we first started, there were three
Yes. Oh,
dads.
and just mention that. Weren't there four of you dads when you began? No, there was three.
Three.
It was three. It was us and Nick Yeti.
Yep. Uh Coincidentally, I discovered when going through our show notes, year one, episode one, we had a new games alert section. Year one, episode one. And on the new games alert, discussed Witcher 3, Overwatch, Zombieland Double Tap, Resident Evil 5, and Baldur's Gate being announced. And
What?
in year 3, episode 81, we did our Baldur's Gate review episode. That to me is wild.
That's nuts. So,
It took us
what?
their announcement of a release date to episode 81 took us 3 years.
Well, they did a long.
They
I
did.
think when they announced that, I mean, at least a year of that was early access where people were playing Baldur's Gate and testing it because Larry and I remember there was like a huge amount of people who had played it, and it was like I remember there was a video that like had the original versions of the characters and then the final versions of the characters. And it was like, remember when Shadowheart used to have this hair? Yes. And remember when Astarion was a tiefling? Oh yeah, all this like fun stuff.
So the episode right before that, episode 80, was our most anticipated games of 2023. Um, Obviously Baldur's Gate 3 was in there. Expo Primal was in there. Starfield was in there. Armored Core, Monster Hunter Now, uh, Mario Wonder, Cyberpunk 27 Phantom Liberty, Hyperlight Breakers, Risk of Rain 2 remake. Is there any games that are or Hogwarts Legacy or Hades 2? There are games that I just mentioned that you think held up to our expectations, most anticipated.
Ooh. Um so which one is this? This
Episode
is
episode 80.
episode 80. Most into um let's see. Okay, yes. Actually, there is one game on this list. So yeah, it was Baldur's Gate 3, which was fantastic. Obviously, game of the year. I didn't like Baldur's Gate 3 as much as I thought I was going to like Baldur's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super Mario Wonder, very solid entry. Still not quite meeting my expectations. Starfield, I think we all know about Starfield. But one of the games has become one of my favorite games on the Switch, and that is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Bomb Rush
Yep.
Cyberpunk is probably one of my favorite games that has come out in the 5 years that we have been doing the podcast.
Really?
Yes, I would in the last 5 years I would put that in my top 5 comfortably.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a
Oh
pretty
yeah.
high bar.
Yeah, and it was and I remember when we talked about it in the episode, I had never played I had never played Jet Set Radio.
Okay. Yep.
And Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is the spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio Future, which was the last Jet Set Radio that came out like 15 years ago. And I'd never played those games. They look cool, but I didn't have a Dreamcast or I didn't have any of the systems that they came out on when I finally got interested in them. And I played Bomb Rush Cyberpunk and it just was so good. I mean, I've played it, I've replayed it, I've just played it for fun, even though there's nothing left for me to unlock. Like it's just fantastic. It's the gameplay. It's not the story or the graphic. Definitely not the graphics.
Yeah.
Um,
Although I, out of everything that's on this list, I think the only game that's on this list that met my expectations was Hogwarts Legacy.
was Hogwarts Legacy in that episode
We talked
of like
about it.
most anticipated?
Yeah, we talked about it as being released November 14th.
Yeah, I mean Hogwarts Legacy really knocked it out of the park. I mean
Yeah.
that became one of the best-selling, most popular games of
Yep.
the last couple of years
Yeah.
for sure. I still
You are a
don't tell
failure.
anybody.
Failure.
I have a long backlog. I have a
So
long backlog, but I'm also on my like third playthrough of Monster Hunter Rise.
we've
So,
we have played a lot of games past 5.
oh boy.
A lot of games.
Oh boy.
And we
That
have
we've played a lot and we've streamed a lot.
yes. Yes.
So, I'm going to go through this list and when you hear something that you want to comment on, you just stop me.
Okay.
Okay?
Number
Um
3.
Number 3, actually, I don't know if we ever actually streamed it. I put it on the list because it was our first game that we reviewed. properly, but
No,
I don't know if we streamed it. That was before we had streaming equipment.
we're just gonna jump to it just for the sake of it.
Okay. The first game that we ever, not the first game that we streamed, but the first game that we ever reviewed was Killer Queen Black on the Nintendo Switch.
Now, Killer Queen Black stands out to me because Nick Yeti was a part of the podcast at the time, so it was back in our first year. It was we had a guest on our show who was one of the game tutorial developers. Um, he is phenomenal individual, and we had some great philosophical conversations about how to build tutorials and how to teach people gaming. Um,
Yes,
but
from Liquid Bit.
I know this is a Easter egg within the Nintendads lore, but that particular episode actually got recorded and we interviewed him twice because the first time we
We did.
recorded, we had an audio glitch, and for whatever reason, there was no sound on his end. We were talking to ourselves.
Yes, I remember that, and it was so confusing because we had recorded it. I thought we had recorded it through Discord, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it just didn't do the thing.
And funny enough, the second time we recorded, despite the fact that the guest knew most of what our questions were and what the path was, we ended up having a better conversation the second time
Yeah,
around.
it was good. It was a good episode. Go back and watch. What episode was that?
Uh,
I'm gonna guess episode 8. Just total guess.
episode 8 is Don't Play with Yourself.
Where was that title when we were talking about our favorite ones?
uh, uh,
No, episode 8 is It's Complicated, Gamer Relationships and Nintendo's Relationships with Competitive Gaming.
Not according to the
You
show
when
notes.
you were making your show note, when you were making the show notes, you used to give the episodes little pet names that never saw the light of day except for instances like this.
I
This is
don't
why we don't make our show notes
I
public.
don't think that's true because my show notes for episode 8, Don't Play with Yourself, is about dating a gamer, early years, backseat gamers, and best couch co op gamers.
Yeah, on this episode, we're talking about how we balance our relationship with non gamer partners and
Okay.
Nintendo's romance with Microsoft
Oh,
and
yeah.
complicated relationship with competitive gaming.
At the very bottom. Yeah, Nintendo's relationship. You're right. It's here. You're right. I'm sorry, but Don't Play with Yourself was a good episode title.
It was. It
You
was. Yo, Kyle Clifford, welcome in. It has been a while.
welcome
It
in,
is.
Kyle.
This is our 5-year anniversary. This is episode 100. It's good to see old names in the chat.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Who, besides you and I, who in the chat has the oldest follow age? I know you can do this on Facebook. I don't think we have it enabled on.
Exclamation point follow age.
Does that work on? Does it work on Discord or on Twitch? Oh, it does. Everybody in chat, type exclamation point follow age. Hold on one sec. My wife thought the dog escaped,
Oh.
but she's here with me.
Is it exclamation point? Oh yeah.
Yes,
I can't see mine.
follow age because you're not following.
Just sub. I've already subbed
Oh yeah, that's weird. It doesn't work.
for me.
Discrimination.
Maybe because I
Um,
copy pasted it. Type it.
you probably misspelled it.
Oh, I did misspell
Flow
it.
age.
I did misspell it. Oh my god.
That is classic. That is girl.
That's
4
embarrassing.
years, 7 months, 18 days, 4 hours. Wait a second.
Yeah.
That is the exact. We have the exact same
Yes, we
follow
do.
age.
Right down to the hours.
That's crazy.
Although over
Kyle
on
Clifford, 1,683 days. That's nuts. I don't know why. Why does Facebook put it in
yeah, I
days?
don't know why it puts it in days. Kyle has been following it 500 days shy of me.
Dang.
Good on
Mine, I
you.
know that I know I have the longest follow age
The
for us on Facebook.
Nintendads is not following the Nintendads.
That's some silly that's some silly meta nonsense.
So
Anywho,
Killer Queen Black was recorded twice. And sadly enough, Killer Queen Black, while it's a game that if you purchase you still have access to on your console, is now not a game supported any longer.
yeah,
Servers shut down.
you can still do local multiplayer. You can still
Yeah,
do local
local multiplayer,
multiplayer.
yeah.
So that is it. That's the first game we reviewed, but not a game that we streamed.
Yep.
So I'm going to rapid fire these games, and you tell me when you want to stop. And
Okay.
I might stop myself and just make little comments. The first game on this list is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Ah,
The net code. The net code that made me stop playing Smash Brothers.
I don't. You said you were gonna
Um,
rapid fire, and I was just letting you run, and you
okay.
heard me gag, and you just had to stop.
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 1 and 2. 2 we reviewed. Both decent platform fighters. The first one was very janky, the second one was significantly better.
Yeah,
Killer Queen Black we already talked about. Rocket League.
great game.
Yeah. Hades, the goat
The
of
goat of
roguelikes, the
roguelites.
godlike roguelike.
Yep.
Guilty Gear Strive, I had a lot of fun playing that. Monster Hunter Rise, which is definitely our most streamed game overall.
100% out of every game that we've ever streamed, Monster Hunter Rise is our number one most streamed, most
And
amount of
my favorite
hours,
game that we've streamed.
which is why it's our most streamed
And the most hours that I have on my Switch.
game. Yes.
And just the objectively best game in the universe.
Yep.
The next one, another top ranking Switch game, Streets of Rage 4,
Phenomenal
which
game.
we did do a sponsored review of the expansion DLC,
Mr. Knight's
Mr. X
X
Nightmare,
Nightmares. Yeah.
which was so yes. Um, are we also? Yes, we are live on Twitch. We are live on Facebook, and believe it or not, we are live on TikTok because we cheated the system and somehow got a live stream key without having 1,000 followers on TikTok. Don't ask me how, but you can go check. I would encourage you to go check because we still are trying to grow followers there.
Yep.
But yeah, we are live on Twitch and TikTok.
I think I'm the only one who's
Um,
watching us, but that's all right.
Overwatch. Overwatch
Uh,
2 is now going back to 6v6. So it's essentially just Overwatch 1. Frog Toys, great name. We're doing well. Thank you.
I love that.
We should celebrate. We are celebrating. This is a celebratory stream. We're gonna play some games. We're gonna play some games after this too. So Halo Infinite, we streamed, believe it or not.
Yep. Several
Overcooked
times.
2. Overcooked 2, maybe the most stressful game that we've streamed.
You are the only person who has the most amount of anxiety to that game.
No, no. If Overcooked 2 stresses you out, put it in the chat right now. There's
Overcooked
no way.
Overcooked
There's no way
does
I'm the only
not
one.
stress anyone out but you.
Yes, it does.
You and My Name is Jeff cannot play Overcooked because you guys
See?
crumble. You
I don't crumble. I
crumble.
excel under pressure. I just hate every second of it.
You can't handle the
Need for Speed Heat. Oh, did you do that on purpose?
Yeah.
Need for Speed Heat, the most, and we talked about this in our favorite genre across games and stuff. Oh, somebody spotted Mike. Somebody spotted Mike.
His name is Mike because he's got a mighty mustache with some googly eyes. Yes.
How you doing, Mike? I somehow agree. Halo Infinite is stressing me out.
I'm CorporalNosaj. That's Presto. Presto.
Forza Horizon 5, maybe my favorite actual racing game. Back for Blood, such wasted potential.
Yeah.
Among Us, Genshin Impact, Demio, amazing.
Demio.
I want to play Demio again. I haven't
Demio
played that in
is
so
by
long.
far one of the best VR games ever created.
And one of the most unique like Dungeons and Dragons style game
Yeah.
with the card system. I really like it. Tiny Tina's Wonderland, another that was phenomenal to play through.
Yeah, it was.
Dead Cells, Motion Twin. Shout out to Motion Twin. They did hook us up with a Castlevania DLC to review, which was very fun. Dungeons and Dragons, we
We
streamed.
did our own Dungeons and Dragons, a Nintendads Dungeons and Dragons stream where I was the DM and the host. Presto and a bunch of friends played and got tortured, and it was fun.
Need for Speed Most Wanted is I have Need for Speed Most Wanted on the Switch, actually.
Yep.
Also very good. I like Heat though. I like Heat's day night cycle. Every time I talk about it, it makes me want to go back and play it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge, which was
I
another one we reviewed.
still play this game every once in a while with the kids.
Oh, banana.
Welcome back, Tri Kingdom.
Good DLC. Splatoon 3, massively disappointing. Again,
Yeah.
mostly because of how bad the online was,
Yep.
unfortunately.
Mario Wonder. Great,
Mario Wonder, classic,
great
good
game.
entry.
Baldur's Gate
Baldur's Gate
3.
3, maybe a little too hard for our blood. Um,
Oof.
this is a good question. I like when the chat gives us good questions.
Yes.
What when you're in a hardcore gaming session, what is your go-to gaming snack?
So I'll be honest with you. I had some serious sweaty sessions back in the day playing StarCraft or Command and Conquer, and I would have a bowl of pretzels, and I was addicted at that time to regular Mountain Dew, and that was like it. And coincidentally, um, Zombieland came out, and the very beginning of Zombieland is him going to buy Mountain Dew so that he can play video games at home, and like mint, mint on point targeting for me.
Sun chips. I do love sun chips. I would say my go-to is the peanut butter filled pretzels if I have them.
Mm-hmm.
But lately it's been Chomps meat sticks. They're like fancy versions of Slim Jims.
Can you and my
They
wife
are
stop shopping at the same place?
they're getting popular.
You
They
and
are like
Lady
they're like
Sage,
organic grass-fed beef, but they're these like big beef sticks
they're
and they're like
great. I love
they're
them. Don't
so
get me
good.
wrong. I don't want anyone to think I'm trying to bash on my wife's shopping tactics. They're great.
Oh
It's
yeah, I
just
dare you. You'll starve to death.
I just I've been beefed out.
Okay.
There's a comment there somewhere. You're choosing not to say it. That's fine.
Windjammers 2, another one we reviewed from Dadimu. Yeah, Windjammers 2 is it's so much fun. That's such a fun game to play in person.
Yep.
Um Tears of the Kingdom. These are in not the right order, by the way, if you can't tell.
I mean, yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom, Monster Hunter World. Shout out to Capcom. We are actually going to start streaming Monster Hunter World again at the beginning of November, in a lead up to Monster Wild. After we try the Wilds demo next weekend.
I mean, Froggy. I just called you Froggy. Frog Toys. Um, Froggy's the guy from Daredevil. Froggy. I think it's not Froggy. Anyway, uh, pretzels. Froggy works. There you go, Froggy.
Froggy
Uh,
Word.
I love pretzels. I That was my whole thing. I said I didn't want pretzels to gunk up my keyboard. I didn't want
But they can,
snacks.
because if you crunch them, the little shards of pretzel go
Yeah.
right down in there.
Yeah, but like to me, you don't have to worry about like pizza or Doritos and like the powder or uh Cheetos. I love
Oh,
Cheetos.
yeah. No, pizza
Getting all
Fate
over
is
your
right. Pizza is top tier, but pizza doesn't last long in my house.
yeah, yeah. I Pretzels is
Okay.
it.
Command and Conquer we've streamed. I mean, you've streamed. Have a Nice
Frogs
Death.
don't have teeth. Important side note.
That yeah, I guess that's true.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Have a Nice Death, which is a fun little roguelike that I actually did get a free copy of to review.
Yep.
Pal World.
Which you and I share
S-
different opinions on.
Yes, we do. Pokemon Arceus, which was pretty fun.
That was all right.
Cyberpunk 2077, another easily in my top 5 games that I've played in the last 5 years.
Yep.
Marvel Snap,
I
best mobile game.
I honestly still like Marvel Snap. Wish I'd still played it.
I will reinstall it and jump in a lobby with you
Really,
anytime.
it's
You
a good
text me.
game.
You just got back from Cracker Barrel and you're about to spend an hour or more in the bathroom. You call me. I mean, don't call me, but text me and tell me to get on Marvel Snap, and I definitely will. So yeah, Marvel
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, not in my top 5, but arguably definitely deserves to be there.
I've played the wrong amount of hours of Elden Ring.
I still play Left 4 Dead 2 till now. Yeah, I played a little bit of Left 4 Dead 2, but you
Yo, Left for Dead and Left for Dead 2 are some of the best zombie or survival rush games ever.
yeah,
And I genuinely
they were fun. Back for
wanted them
Blood had such potential,
I
man.
wanted them to remake Left 4 Dead, and instead they made that other game that recently came out. That was I don't even want to say its name. It was horrible. It did not hold up.
I know what you're talking about.
No. Anyway,
Um, you know what? Let's take a little pause. I think we have enough people in chat that are very talkative. Let's give away a game.
a game
Why
giveaway.
don't we give away a game?
Nintendads
Um,
giveaway.
let's see. We have a couple games in the bank, which I don't want to give away. Are you in the notes?
Yeah, I'm in the notes. I see
I
what
don't
you're
want
talking
to
about.
give away this one because I want to maybe tie
Save that
this
one.
to
That's fine.
yeah, tie that to something. But what do you say? Let's do this one. We've had this one for a while.
I was gonna say either
And I
that one or
do
the last
believe
one.
I have streamed this before.
Although I personally want the last one. Bye.
You can have the last one. Anyway, I'm sorry. We're being irrationally sneaky. We're going to give away a key for a little racing game called Neo Sprint, which was debuted to us at the Too Many Games convention in the Greater Philly Expo Center. And let's give away.
Neo Sprint is made by Atari, an exhilarating racing classic in the Sprint series, but it
It's a
returns
classic top down.
classic top-down sprinting game. Neo Sprint zooms back to life as a single-screen arcade game for up to 8 players, paired with a robust track building and intuitive sharing tool, meaning you can build and create your own tracks as you then unlock pieces of those track building worlds, and then you can race on those tracks and share your tracks with others.
Ad break.
Oh,
No, Frog's got an ad break. All right, we have to
hold
wait till
on.
the ad break is
Can I
over.
dismiss it?
Can you?
I tried. I hit the dismiss button. I hope that
Are we still
helps.
on ad break? Are we still on ad break? How did Twitch know we were about to do a giveaway? They're like, oh, no free shit going on our platform. Um, well, let's keep going through the list then until the ad break has concluded. Also, we're getting a little long in the tooth here. I'm gonna start going through these faster. Uh, Pokemon Scarlet Violet, Ninjala. Ninjala! Probably the game that I've waited the most amount of time for trying to get into a lobby. Back for Blood is good too. Back for Blood was fun. Back for Blood was fun.
Ninjala was an okay game. But do you remember was it Ninjala? There was another game that was
Ninjala.
kind of like Ninjala. Um Knockout. The Dodge
Knockout City.
Knockout City. Yes.
Knockout City. Yeah. Okay, I think the ad break is over. Oh no, thank you. Ad
Still
break's still going, but appreciate the answer. Okay. We will keep going until the ad break is over and then we will do the giveaway.
okay,
Okay, ad
ad
break's
is
over. All right,
over.
let's do the giveaway.
Woo! Ad
Um how do we want to do this? Do we want to have everybody we don't have a giveaway like thing set up, so we can't do
the
like
wheel.
exclamation point
I don't
giveaway.
have access to the wheel anymore.
I have a random number generator and I'm going to generate a number 1 through 100
That's
and the
odd.
person who
Okay.
guesses closest is going to win. So you only get to guess one number. So if you want to enter to win
Guess a
a
number between
key
1 and 100.
on Steam for Neosprint, guess a number between 1 and 100. And we will pick the person that gets the closest. Fate, Villa's probably asleep now. But Kyle, anybody in chat, guess a number. We're gonna keep going through our list while you guys get this in here, and then we will continue. You posted the link for the game on the Switch, but we are in fact giving away the game on Steam.
Correct.
Just
I just wanted people to be able to see the game. It's the Nintendads. Of course, I'm copying the Nintendo version of the game.
We have streamed Wild Hearts. That's another one we reviewed.
Wild
Awesome,
Hearts.
awesome
Yep.
hunting type game. Enshrouded. Another one we reviewed, and another one that I absolutely want to go back. I want to go back and do it. I want to go back and play through all the updates. Kane the Destroyer. Kane the Destroyer, put in a number just for
Yes.
funsies, and
Put
if
it.
you get it, you can decide who to give it to.
Give us a number, fun.
Helldivers 2, obviously super fun until they nerfed all the weapons into the dirt. That's another one we should go back to, though.
Yes.
It is. Risk of Rain 2, classic. Risk of Rain
Rain.
Returns,
Yeah.
amazing.
Raven's Watch.
Ravens Watch we
I
were given to review.
I love me some Raven's Watch, and honestly, like, and I know I've said this in previous episodes, and I've said this to you, the concept of childhood stories being twisted into dark, evil things, just so pretty and loving.
It is, and it's fully launched now. It's finally out of early access.
Yep. Yep.
So, Blaze Blue Entropy Effect. I have this one in bold, but I remember buying this. This was not one we were given for review, but amazing roguelike. Minecraft. Minecraft is crap.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6, my game of the year for 2023.
Yep.
Shout out Capcom. Diablo 4, of course. Dragon's Dogma 2, again, shout out Capcom for the copy of that. Hades 2. That got a big update recently. That's another one that I
It
have
did.
to revisit. Yeah.
It's
Another
actually being
Crab's
marketed to me on
Treasure.
Xbox to download.
Another Crab's Treasure.
Another Crab's Treasure is a roguelike game like no other.
It's Kriller. Anybody else? Anybody else? Get these numbers in. Fate, I know you're in chat. Put a number in. Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. No, I haven't even played Generations Ultimate. I have not even played GU.
Sad.
And now we're too close to Wild.
Yeah.
Pick it up. 33 Immortals, so much fun. I cannot wait till this releases. Marvel Rivals, another one that's coming out early December. The First Descendant, that was a fun one.
Mecha Break.
Mecha Break.
Just talked about that earlier today.
Too good. I'm going to be on that when it launches. 2XKO, which is the Riot fighting game. Pretty fun. A little technical.
1 through 100 Fate.
Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which we talked about earlier.
Good game.
Marvel
Good game.
versus Capcom collection. Shout out Capcom. Amazing fighting game collection. One of the best. Your Baby.
My baby.
Your Baby Below the Stone.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
42.
Below,
The answer to all life's questions, actually. And then Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2.
which is also a great game.
Yeah. They recently made a bunch of very questionable and game changes, and they have already rolled all of those changes back.
Really?
Yes, the
That
whole proximity thing is
that didn't
gone.
take long.
No, I mean people were dropping off like hardcore.
Yeah.
Um, and then Windblown, which I just streamed yesterday, and which I think you're streaming on Sunday.
Tri Kingdom, we're doing a game giveaway 1 through 100. Pick a random number.
1 through 100. After Tri Kingdom gets his guess in, we will announce the winner. How did this podcast start again? This podcast started because, well, we all like to talk about games, and we're constantly talking about games, and we figured we should just record this. But the actual inciting incident was from the official Corporal Nosaj
So
YouTube channel.
I wanted to do something like this. And I didn't have a solid idea. So I started by streaming on YouTube, or at least recording and then releasing streams of me doing playthroughs. And I started out with doing playthroughs of Minecraft, because I love to build. I consider myself a decent builder in Minecraft, and I was
Oh, you're more than decent. I've been on so many servers with you. Don't sell yourself short there.
so when the Nintendo Treehouse event came out, I invited Presto to come on to a recording of mine where we did a reaction review to the Nintendo Treehouse, and I called the episode Corporal's Corner uh, uh, review, and we enjoyed the idea of us bantering back and forth, and we roped in our good friend Nick Yeti, and from that, a group conversation formed into a platform called the Nintendads.
For a while, it was going to be a Super Smash Brothers podcast.
It was. It
The
was.
Smash. I think I had it code named as the Smash Cast,
Yep.
and that was the original. That was the original plan. And then we all kind of looked at each other and they're like, that's kind of a narrow. It's kind of a
And
narrow
they tell
spot
you
to
that
put
when you're going to be
ourselves
a
in.
content creator, you should have a niche, whatever your niche is. So for us, it's gamers. And then you should niche again. And gamers was niched into the Nintendo focused games. Um, and we thought if you niched a third time, like Smash, it was probably a good idea. And a lot of content creators did that, but we didn't want to niche ourselves too much.
Our niche
So,
was that all three of us were dads.
yeah,
So the Nintendo.
the Nintendads. And I'll be honest with you, when they were talking about doing the Super Smash thing, I'm not a huge Super Smash fan. It's good and whatnot, but
Again, you're underselling your skills as Link in Ultimate, but
sure.
continue.
Uh, what I did was I was going to play the role of the ignorant, unknowing participant, while Sweaties over here would talk about frame rate data and milliseconds of weapons being
Yes,
drawn and attacks happening.
it was going to be the casual versus the competitive
You,
perspective. This was also when Super Smash Brothers Ultimate had just come out
yeah,
or was just about to come
about it was
out.
about to come out. We
Yeah.
wanted to
So
be
it was
ahead of
like,
the
oh, we
curve.
can cover it and then, it'll be supported for years. Wow. My nickname in high school was Neo, and I successfully dodged the bullet of making the podcast about Smash Brothers
Yeah.
because that would have been painful to be locked into that. I have all the Monster Hunters. I'm a big fan of the series. Kyle, you're in the right place. Are you going to be playing the Wilds beta next week? Because next weekend, we are going to stream the Wilds beta. And I don't think they're going to have the 16-player lobbies open for the beta, but we are going to be doing a whole bunch of hunts all weekend. So shoot me a message, or I guess it's probably going to be done through Capcom ID,
Yeah.
if I were to guess. But Kyle, shoot me a message or join our Discord, which I think this still works. Just come into our Discord. That's where we're going to be organizing all the hunting parties. And we'd love to hunt with you. So, okay. So, Neo Sprint on Steam. The closest person was, well, first, the number was 10.
The number was
So,
10.
the
Okay.
number was 10. So, Kane the Destroyer, congratulations. Who do you want to give the key to? Because you just said you don't have you don't have
You don't have a
Steam.
PC or the Steam.
So choose.
So Kane the Destroyer can choose who. Thank you for joining in and being a part of our podcast. Uh, who do you want to give the Neo
Man,
Sprint game
my damn dog.
code away to?
My damn dog.
Kyle over on Facebook says congratulations
Yeah, Kyle. You can also give it to Kyle on Facebook.
on Facebook. So like there's
He's
Kyle,
on Facebook.
there's Froggy, and there's Fate. You get to decide.
While you decide, what else do we have to go through here? We're almost at an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And we got wind blown to blow through.
So um over the many years of us doing our episodes, we structure our episodes into specific sections. So there's the intro, then there's the what you're drinking section, there's the what are you playing section, then there's our topics, and then there's two more sections at the end. The next section is a side quest slash question, right? Side quest question. Get
The
it?
side question,
Side
as
question
they
of the day.
say.
So the side quest is usually a thought-provoking question about something that we have discussed in today's episode.
I love the side quests.
I think side quests, we have
I love the side quests.
some pretty fun side quests. Do you know what your favorite side quest has been over the past 5 years?
Oh my gosh. I I want to cheat because you mentioned
Go ahead.
your
Go ahead.
favorite one, and that was really fun. The Fallout sort of character spread that we did, where you kind of allocate the points, because I never played Fallout.
Yeah.
But I enjoy making like character sheets and like distributing points. So I do really like that one. Um let me do a quick look through our notes while you answer what your favorite one is.
My
Now you got to pick a
my
new one.
second favorite side quest was you wake up in the morning and the entire world is based off of video game logic. What's the first thing you do is the first part of the question. And the second question is what do your stats say? And it's somewhat played on the joke of what's the first thing you do, and the joke is I look at how bad my stats are. So I mean, it's a double-edged side quest. It's a joke and a question.
I
Um,
really like this one. This is from Hot Indie Summer. What game got better the second time you played it, and how much time passed in between plays?
yes,
That is a really good one. And I don't know why it was in the upcoming indie game episode. It was unrelated,
it was.
but
And sometimes
that
the
was a
side
good
quests
one.
are unrelated, but yeah.
I think my answer for that was probably Final Fantasy VII or Cyberpunk 2077. Both of those were games that I replayed and they got significantly better with each playthrough. But you know what? I have my own side quest,
Oh,
and that is each year when we do our anniversary episode, we each pick a game of the year. What is your I mean, it can technically be from 2023 because we do it from end of October to the next end of October.
yeah.
But what is your Nintendads Year 5 game of the year? What is your favorite game that you have played in the past year? New game that's come out in the past year. Because otherwise my answer would just be Monster Hunter every year. But
You are addicted to that Monster
what's your
Hunter.
favorite new release?
Ah,
It's tough. I feel like nothing springs to mind because my concept of time is just so jacked up
yeah.
that I don't even remember like which games came out this year versus last year.
I did enjoy Halo Infinite, but that's so far last year, I think.
That didn't come out this in the last year.
That's what I'm saying. It's past
Yeah.
year. Um Risk of Rain Returns, I think, came out.
Mm.
It's a re-release. It's a
Yes.
remake of a re-release. That was a pretty great game. Um, I think
I'm looking.
I
I'm
genuinely
looking
think that's my
through.
answer.
Hmm.
Froggy.
Not another Crab's Treasure.
Oh yeah, no, that's for this year. A newest game
That came
release.
out this year.
Yeah,
Is
uh,
that your game of the year?
yeah, I think so. Out of all the
Yeah.
games that I've streamed, yeah.
Okay. Not Pal World.
Froggy, you did. I was about to answer your question. I apologize, but he cut me off because he likes to talk. Uh,
Did I? Was that me? I'm sorry.
just curious, how many platforms are you streaming to right now? Um,
3.
Three. We are streaming to Twitch, we are streaming to Facebook, and we are streaming to TikTok. And Kane the Destroyer says Fate, given that they were the second closest.
All right.
So
Fate Maker.
Fate Maker, you are the winner.
I will send you that code after tonight's episode.
I can send it to him in a whisper on
Oh, there you go. Um Now what is mine? I think as controversial as this is going to be,
okay.
I think it's Helldivers 2.
Really?
I had more I think I had the most fun, the most genuine childlike glee in playing Helldivers 2 with you, with Dr. Vern, with Snorkelbum. I think out of all the games that came out this year, that might be the one that I had the most fun playing. And
So
I think the close second would maybe be Enshrouded of games that came out this year. I feel like it was crowded, but it was crowded with like smaller bite-sized games. Marvel vs. Capcom Collection was very good, but
yeah,
I didn't play it the amount that I've played Enshrouded or Helldivers 2, and it's really a collection of older games, so I don't know. I don't think I could count that.
I I agree with you with the childlike enjoyment that came from Helldivers 2. That I mean that is a genuinely good answer because I enjoy playing that game, guys, a lot. Um,
Yeah. Mecha Break is also absolutely a part of this conversation, but it's not out yet. It's not out yet, but it's up there. It's in there. The other two games are lucky that it's not it's disqualified for just being a beta test. Okay. I feel like those are, I mean, if mine is either Helldivers or Enshrouded, those are both, I mean, Helldivers technically an indie game, yeah?
Yeah, I suppose
Enshrouded, definitely an indie game. Another Crab's Treasure, an
indie
indie
game.
game.
Yep.
Nintendo, is this thing on? Hello? Nintendo, are you guys still alive? Please announce the Switch 2, please, for God's sake. Did you see there's a game that got announced. I forget what game it is, but they revealed it and it's like coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and Nintendo. That's the platform that they said they were releasing on.
Interesting.
They said Nintendo
They
because
didn't
it's
say
going to be
Switch.
Nintendo's next console.
Yeah.
It's going to be Nintendo's next console. Even if it is the Switch 2, they can't say that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Froggy has. I have a good question as dad gamers. What is the first game you introduced to your kids?
Ooh, that's a good question. That is a great question.
Yeah.
Mine was, I remember the first game that we played through all the way was Super Mario 64. Um,
Okay.
but the first game where I actually like handed him the controller may have been, could be Sonic the Hedgehog, could be Rocket League. Um,
I'm pretty sure mine was Minecraft.
yours was Minecraft. That's a
Yeah.
hell of a game to start on.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Little Red, the first game he played, it's either Minecraft or Sonic. It's one of the two.
Yeah. I'm wondering. I wonder if I have a picture because I would have taken a picture of that. I will go even deeper. What is the first game you fell in love with? The first game I fell in love with as a child myself was absolutely Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and then Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I would wake up early in the morning just to play that game.
The earliest game I've ever played. So I don't know if anybody was religious, but when you're younger and you grow up in a Christian household, Lent is where you're supposed to give away something leading up to Easter, right? You're supposed to sacrifice. And Lent, you have to choose something to give away for 90 days or 60 days. And my parents made me give up playing video games. And let me tell you, I was a bad little boy because I kept my Sega Genesis powered
Yes.
on and I kept it plugged into the TV and I just had put tape over the top of the light so that they didn't
I
know that it was
remember
on.
this. I
And
remember
I would
this.
wake up in the middle of the night and go out to my living room and I would continue to play Sonic throughout into the night and then go back to bed. I was a little devil child. So the first game I think I fell in love with uh, was Sonic 1. Um, but the next game I fell in love with, I was addicted to, was Halo Combat Evolved on the
Oh,
original first Xbox.
yes. Ooh, Golden Axe. Yeah, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage 2. I had a collection on Sega CD. Heck yeah, redeemed. Nice. Enjoy Fate. It's fun. It's a fun little racer. That's a fun one you can play with your kids.
Yep, yep.
I tried playing it with my son, but it was a little too, it's like a top-down racer. So it's not, it requires some spatial
Yeah, spatial
reasoning
awareness
and
skills that are
awareness. Yeah.
have to be learned.
Cool. Well, I think that's a
That
wrap
that was a
on
really
episode
good
100.
side quest. Honestly, I the side quest that I have was your question, Presto, was what's your favorite game of 2024? And I
You
don't.
had that?
That was I think you wrote it in there.
I did write it in there,
Yeah.
yeah, because
Um
we always pick one every
yeah.
year.
And then we usually end an episode with a dad joke. And so, like I said, our sections are intro, what are you drinking? What are you playing? Our main topic of the day, our side quest, and then a dad joke. And typically, we try to squeeze in a dad joke nonchalantly to a point that nobody knows that it's coming and it's out of left field. And we have surprised somebody. But my dad joke I wants to say to you, Presto, is not even a joke, it's a question. What there has to be over the past 5 years, over the past 99 episodes, is there a dad joke that stands out to you as the best dad joke ever said?
Yes, because it's my dad joke.
Oh my gosh.
And you don't do you really want me to tell it? Because it's long.
It is
You already know what it is.
it is a long dad joke, but I think our viewers deserve to hear it.
Oh, man.
And it would be the
If you could
second
only play one game, if you were on an island,
it is the second time you've ever said this joke. So
when does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes
a parent.
parent.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, man. Okay, so this joke is actually 2 jokes. It's 2 jokes because one joke is so bad that it barely makes sense, and then the other joke is bad enough where by comparison next to the other joke, it seems really funny. So, these 3 guys, I can't believe you're making me retell this.
Tell it.
It's so long.
Tell
I
it.
apologize to everyone. This is Corporal's fault. Director hated him. So these 3 guys are walking along and they find some bricks and they say, "I wonder which of us is the strongest." They let's take these bricks and throw them up into the air. And the other guy goes, "Well, how we can't see how high we're throwing them. Like we don't have a drone." And the third guy says, "Well, let's throw them and see how far they sink down into this mud here because the person who throws it the highest when it comes back down, it'll sink the furthest down in the mud." And they go, "Okay." So the first guy throws his brick, eh, 10 feet, sinks about an inch down into the second guy, cracks his knuckles, throws the brick up into the air, comes, sticks like 3 or 4 inches into the mud. Pretty good. The third guy laughs. He's the buff friend. He rolls his sleeves up. He busts out the pythons. He takes the brick with one hand, throws it into the air, and they wait. And they wait. They look around. Did they miss it? Did it come down behind? Like what? And the brick just never comes down because he threw it so high. Like it went into space, maybe. I told you the first one is really bad. The first one's really bad. The real best dad joke is there's this woman, very eccentric. She has this parrot. She loves her parrot, can't go anywhere without her parrot, so she always brings it with her wherever she goes. So she's at the airport and she's in line at security, and there's a big sign. And the sign says, no birds, no smoking. That's the main 2 rules of the airlines. I guess they allow like drugs, firearms, whatever, but absolutely no birds, no smoking. So the lady starts to panic. What am I going to do with my bird? So she takes her bird and she has like a big fur coat on. She's like I said, she's a very fancy lady. She takes the bird and she shoves it into her coat, somehow lucks out and gets through security with the bird in her coat. Now she's got it made. She's home free, right? So she boards the plane. They go up. She's feeding her bird, bird seed and sunflower seeds and all that kind of stuff. She's good. The pilot is at cruising altitude. Fasten seatbelt sign has been turned off. Snacks are going around. And the pilot is walking around, surveying, he's feeling like he's the top man. He's kind of an ass. He's a pilot. He's very similarly egotistical as the lady, thinking she can break the rules. And he takes out a cigar and lights it right there on the plane. Who's gonna stop him? He's the pilot. So he's going around smoking. People are kind of looking at him weird, like, okay, I guess you're the pilot. Um, and goes asks the lady, "How are you enjoying the flight?" She goes, "Oh, I'm enjoying the flight very much." Goes, and as he's walking away, he hears. He turns around. He goes, "Does somebody have a bird on my plane?" And the lady sort of but the bird is now sensing the what's going on. Uh-huh. The bird squawking. The guy goes and looks and spots the bird under the woman's coat, and he turns red in the face, gets super mad. Lady, I can't believe you brought a bird on this plane. Do you know how dangerous and reckless that is? She goes, it's just a bird. The pilot, without even thinking, grabs the bird, runs over to the emergency hatch, opens it, and throws the bird out the window. The lady, equally stunned, instinctively runs, snatches the cigar right out of the pilot's mouth, throws the cigar out the window. The pilot slams the thing shut because we're ignoring the laws of physics for this joke. Slams the thing shut. I can't believe you. I'm going to have you arrested when we get in. I can't believe in all my years of flying, I never, blah, blah, blah. Storms back up to the cabin. Everyone else is sitting on the plane like, I'm never flying Spirit again. Gets to the cockpit and still huffing and puffing. And on the windshield of the plane, he hears a tap, tap, tap. And he looks up, and there is the parrot. And do you know what the parrot has in its mouth? Did you guess the cigar? Because it's not the cigar, it's the brick
From the first joke.
from the first joke. Thank you, everybody. I've been Presto for 5 years.
I've been CorporalNosaj.
Thank you guys all for joining us. This community, people in chat asking us awesome questions, playing games with us. You guys are the reason, even though we love to hear ourselves talk, you're the real reason why we keep making episodes and why we're going to keep making episodes and that we've done 100 things. So thank you. Thank you, Corporal, for being the best co-host ever.
That's touching. I wasn't expected to be shouted out. Thank you, Presto, for being the dearest of friends and have
Oh, yes,
taken this
sir.
endeavor with me and
And
have
thank you for making such stylish merchandise
right,
for us as
right,
well. Look at this.
right.
Fate. So we actually have the Nintendads.com, where it has all our social links, links to the podcast episodes, a little about us and how this whole crazy thing got started. Thank you, Kane. Kane and Frog. Thank you guys for hanging in. Yeah, the Nintendads.com. Designed by moi. It is one of my finer website designs that I've done.
Yep.
I'm very proud of it. And yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. We're gonna end the episode here, but are we gonna stream some Windblown?
We can attempt.
Whoa. I just heard your Discord noise and my Discord noise go off at the same time, and I kind of loved it. All right, thanks for everybody. We'll see you in the next episode. And that's